It's a bunch of crazy stories written by the Brothers Grimm. And now you're gonna learn all about them, listening to the Brothers Grimm.
Students and scholars, friends and relations, welcome to the Brothers Grimm podcast, a podcast in which we delve into the occasionally bawdy tales of the Brothers Grimm fairy tales. A collection of stories written down by Jacob and Wilhelm Grimm in the early 19th century in what was going to become Germany, but what was at the time the German Confederation, which sort of replaced the Holy Roman Empire and is really just like 20 little city-states.
Very French.
Yes. And it reminds me, you know what it reminds me of? I was thinking about while I was reading, or this, just like, you remember all those 80s films where like you're in one summer camp and then the rich summer camp is across the lake?
Oh, yeah, totally.
And yeah, and you're the plucky ones or whatever, and you sort of have like a war of attrition over who over who gets to keep using the lake because the rich camp's father wants to turn it into a shopping mall or something. It's sort of like that, except with actual swords and war hammers and shit.
Yeah.
And people will be like, well, no, we're not going to do a prank war. We're just going to go we're going to cross this lake. We're going to murder you all.
Yeah, exactly. Like they did in Wet Hot American Summer.
Exactly. Wait, did they? Did they have
Didn't they just kill everybody?
No, I don't think so.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, okay.
No, but there was a rivalry with like a very rich camp across the lake.
I don't remember that. I remember the nerds saving the camp from a meteorite or something stupid with a 20-sided die.
Space Station Mir, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh God, it was such a good movie.
It really was. In any case, one of said stories is what we're going to be talking about today. Grimm story number 80, The Death of the Little Hen. My name is Phil.
And my name is Mike.
Mike, how are you now?
I'm doing all right. How about yourself?
I'm good. I was wondering something. I have to ask you a question.
Oh, please.
I need your consent.
Oh boy.
Are you ready to start talking about cocks?
You know what? I am.
And more cocks.
I started writing my notes as Rooster, and I said, you know what? I'm going to stay true to the Mary Hunt translation.
Yeah. And I'm gonna check my notes here, but I want to make sure. Are you ready to talk about a hen who, and I quote, chokes to death on a large nut from a little cock?
Yes, I am indeed prepared.
Okay. Like I said, it's always good to get consent. Do you have a grade?
God, this one was all over the place. I settled on a B.
Okay.
I'm curious what you think.
I'll be generous. I thought I'd be generous. I'm going to give it a B+.
Yeah.
Because it proves to me that the Brothers Grimm, they know where the money was. Just dick and fart jokes. It's been true for 1,000 years. And it will continue to be true 1,000 years from now, assuming we don't all die because a certain generation just will not give up power. Like, we're going to be going soon. We're going to take you all with us.
Yep. Yeah, there's a lot in this that's been done elsewhere better, I'd say.
Yeah.
But it was entertaining in the end, so. Yeah,
it made me chuckle a little bit. That's what I say. If I'm being generous, I give it a B+. I don't know why I'm giving it the extra plus, but
yeah, it's all good. You gotta keep it interesting.
All right, Mike.
Yes.
Would you be so kind as to take us through the plot? Grimm story number 80, The Death of the Little Hen.
It would be my utmost pleasure. I hope you're sitting down. You ready?
I'm ready.
There's a little hen and a little cock, and they go to the nut hill. They've got an agreement. Whoever finds a bit of nut will share it with the other. I guess this is sort of like a scavenging yard kind of deal.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, the hen finds a big old nut. She doesn't want to share it, so she just gobbles it down. And it sticks in her throat.
Yeah.
She panics.
It's sticky. Yeah.
Yeah. She panics. She entreats the cock to go find her some water. So little cock runs to the well and asks it for water. The well says first he has to go to the bride and get her to give him some red silk. I don't know what the well needs with red silk.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it doesn't. So the little cock runs to the bride, explains the situation. The bride says first that he needs to go fetch her wreath hanging from a tree. So he goes and manages to get the wreath from the tree, brings it to the bride. She gives him water. He rushes to the hen, only to find that the hen is dead. He cries and he wails. All the animals come to see, and they mourn as well. They build a funeral wagon for her. It's pulled by 6 mice, and the little cock drives it. They're processing through the forest, and they come across the fox. He asks where they're going. The cock explains. And the fox asks if he can ride with them. The cock says sure, but he has to ride in the back, otherwise the mice wouldn't be able to pull the whole load. Physics. Pivot points, load. I don't know. So the fox does so, and they continue on. As they go, the wolf, the bear, the stag, the lion, and all the other beasts join in riding on the back of the wagon, which the 6 mice are still pulling. Anyway, so eventually they reach the stream and they realize they have to cross. A nearby straw offers to lay across the water so that they can cross. Stop me if you've heard this one before. But as the mice approach, the straw slips in, the mice all fall in, and they all drown. Then a coal comes along, offers to be a bridge. It's sturdier than the straw, but no sooner has it laid across the stream than it touches the water, extinguishes, and dies. Next, a stone feels bad. It lays itself across as a bridge. The cock carries the hen's body over and then comes back to pull the rest of the menagerie on the wagon. They just get across when the wagon slips backward and all of the animals fall in the water and also drown. So at this point, the cock is left alone with the body of the hen. Digs a little grave for her, puts her in, sits atop the mound, and mourns until he dies. And then everyone's dead. The end. And that's literally the last line. And then everyone was dead, which is charming in its own grim way.
Yeah. This one kind of it started out feeling like one of those old click and point adventure games, like King's Quest. Right? You have to you go through, you meet every single creature that will talk to you, and you have your inventory, and you're like, try this. I'd be willing to give you this magic ring if only I had I don't know. Only had a little crown.
I never played King's Quest, but that does remind me of Shadowgate, which I played the hell out of.
Oh, Shadowgate was the one. It would be like a single picture, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, when you've got an inventory and you got to put the harp in the painting or whatever.
I think they redid that recently.
Did they really?
Yes. Which means that someone cares about it, which is not the case for Grimm's story number 80, The Death of the Little Hen.
No.
This doesn't even have a Wikipedia entry.
Yeah, this not a lot on here.
I think, that's how hated it seems to be. If not hated, then broadly ignored. I'm flabbergasted, though, that it is, because it's, I guess like what you said, they just do a lot of all these jokes better in different areas, and then it stops being that joke.
Yeah, it's a chain tale, which we've seen 100 times. There's a callback to the straw, the coal, and the bean. The coal lights the straw on fire. They're crossing the river. Coal lights the straw on fire as it's crossing. They both fall in and drown. The bean laughs until she splits herself.
Yeah,
and gets sewed up. And that's why beans have a black line on them.
Yeah, I'm assuming that this is a body joke.
In what way?
We're getting an English translation.
B-A-W.
B-A-W, yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, not like my super hot bod. my ripped bod.
Yes.
Because I've been doing exercises because I have to go to physical therapy because I slept on my shoulder wrong.
Welcome to your 40s.
Yeah, no, I know. But that's neither here nor there. I assume that in Germany it is. I send emails to every German professor anytime I have a question about this. Any German professor of literature or folklore, no one has ever written me back.
That's a shame.
Fuck you, Zips. I think unless he's like, dude, I don't check my school email. I don't even go to that university. Professor Emeritus. I'm retired, but they keep paying me.
I did find that there was an original first version. And they didn't have an agreement to share, and so that the hen wasn't being greedy. They were just looking for nuts, and she ate one and choked. I don't know. It kind of changes the tone of it a little bit. So I think the sort of the moralness of her being greedy was added later, which is interesting.
So they wanted a moral.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speaking of which, do you have a moral?
Let me see if I do.
Because believe it or not, I have a few.
Okay. Tell me your morals.
One, don't be greedy. That's for the hen. Just fucking do it yourself instead of the chain tail. Just go get some water instead of I don't know why the cock didn't just get the water from the well. Why does the well need to give you water? I don't understand that. Too many niceties. And the other was don't be lazy. The wagon animals all fall in the river and drown because they're too lazy to walk. That's my take.
So, okay, well, let's break this down a little bit. First, the original trading game. So time is money, I guess.
Yeah.
And the cost was too high at the well. There wasn't much time, so there was no time for trade negotiations. That leaves getting water somewhere else or goddamn taking the water and either saying I'll pay you back later or later realizing, oh shit, I can go get water from fucking wherever. Right? Bit of two wolves inside of you. Wait, I'm not even sure how that's going to come.
I don't know either, but it's funny.
And then straw and coal, right, is just, I guess, don't overreach. Doesn't help anyone to lie about your abilities.
Well, yeah. Do you think they were lying, or were they just trying to be helpful?
They're trying, but which again doesn't necessarily help. I don't think it's out of malice. Yeah, I can do that. But
it's got to be a very small river. If there's a piece of straw that makes itself a bridge, and then a coal makes
Yeah.
itself a bridge, and then a stone makes itself a bridge.
Oh yeah, I mean, if they're all and mice are
seems like a
trying
little rivulet.
to ford it and then crash into this river like so much Oregon Trail. But well, here's what I think though. So we can I think there's a little bit of moral that's going to get into some of like the stuff I'd like to talk about. So we can, but without actually saying, okay, here's the moral, other than maybe don't overreach, because again, there's two very disparate parts of this story.
Yeah.
Let me get a couple things out of the way. The ATU type there's a bunch of them. I know you said this was glued together by from a bunch of other different pages. Funeral procession of the hen, death of the little hen, death of the cock. There's a bunch of these. A hen is dying.
Yeah.
And a rooster. And again, it's like it's nothing that anyone really talks about. It's not like Rapunzel or what have you. But
right, they didn't last the test of time.
But this joke. Yeah, this joke was clearly well known back then. And so like it kind of comes in. So, but what I'll do now is I'm real quick, I'm going to give you my pitch.
Okay.
Now, and then we right. So, okay. So Skinemax is coming back, right?
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Oh yeah. HBO is going to have a Skinemax and an HBO. So my thought is, and I'm sure that I've said it before on this podcast, but I think I can just reboot Emmanuelle.
Okay.
Make an episode and call it The Death of the Little Hen, or or choking on a big nut from a small cock. And then like again, I'm sure that I've talked about it on this podcast, but for our listeners, Emmanuelle was a series of erotic French films from the 70s and then again in the 90s. Which is
because what doesn't need to be rebooted?
It was one of the first. They were like, well, we gotta we're gonna see if this reboot thing's gonna work. Let's start with Emmanuelle. And it's broadly where young Phil got his sex education from.
Perfect.
And why it's probably much better to actually get sex education at school. Not from Skinemax in the late 80s and 90s. As for the story, so I don't think that there's anything. I got nothing I don't want to do. It's just a joke. It's a joke. We could update the joke, I guess, but the joke has always been, chain stories like, well, there's a big cock and it's trying to fit into this little warm, wet sleeve, which is funny, but it's not really a joke.
Yeah. It's just something to giggle at when you're in middle school.
I know it's like,
or when you're in your 40s.
It's like if you're like, hey, I've got a really good dick joke. And you just take your dick out and you go, see? And we're like, what? And you're like, get it? That's what makes it so funny. Let's see. So
there's something in here that drives me crazy.
Yeah, what do you got for me?
And I don't know if you caught on to it or not.
Okay.
So if you pay attention.
Yeah.
Goes to the well, asks for water. The water says, go to the bride to get some red silk.
Okay.
Goes to the bride for red silk. She says, go to the tree to get my wreath. So he goes to the tree, gets the wreath, brings it to the bride. Bride gives him water. Never gets the red silk, never goes back to the well, which seems like a weird omission for the Grimms.
I think that they were real drunk. I think this was
entirely possible.
This is like them filling up some space.
Right.
Which is why no one talks about it.
Revision after revision, did nobody catch on to this? It's just, I don't know, drove me nuts.
I think it was
no pun intended.
or like nobody cared enough to like update it.
I mean, that's why this one has no lore about it.
Yeah, exactly. You have the original trading game where and that's it. Time is money, I guess is the best moral that you're going to get out of that. Like, which is just okay. And if you're desperate, you just have to pay the price for whatever it is. And if you don't do it quick enough, like if you don't have the money to buy the thing you need,
your hen dies.
Yeah, your hen dies.
Yeah.
And then they split into the straw and the coal again, which is just don't lie about your abilities, and it's not even that. It's just they're like, and then everyone goes on a ride and tries to ford the river and dies. And it's like, okay. Then they bury the hen and the cock dies. But that's it. It's like, if everything is bleakest, you have two choices.
Yeah. It's like a story in 3 acts, but the third act is just he buries the hen and mourns her and dies.
You can fret about it until you die, or there's something to be said for that, I guess, too. Like, right, where young Phil had a lesson from the Marvel supervillain Thanos when he was young. Thanos, right?
Tales of teenage dirtbaggery.
So in the comics originally, the movies played out differently, but in the comics, he did all this stuff to try and impress a girl. He got the Infinity Stones.
Mm-hmm.
He becomes near a god. and enough of the rest of the universe teams up and stops him. But mostly it's the becoming a god thing didn't work. The girl still didn't like him, so he sort of sabotages the whole thing. Heroes of the Earth or whatever cosmic heroes are around, they fight him, and he just gives up. Kind of puts himself into a situation where they could take the godhood from him. He knows it doesn't matter anymore. He doesn't really want to be a god if he doesn't get this girl. He can't quite admit it, but he's just like, all right, I learned a lesson.
That was interesting.
That was
What's
weird.
next?
Anyways, like, yeah, I'm gonna go, guys. And everyone's like, no, you're going to jail. And he was just like, no, I'm not.
Intergalactic
Fuck you,
jail.
Captain America. Jesus Christ. Anyways, good fight, everybody. I guess it's a tie. Don't follow me. I'll see you guys in a year for Infinity War. Bye. And he does exactly that. So I guess, yeah, maybe that's the moral. Don't fret.
Yeah.
If I'm walking myself in circles here trying to get anything from this.
I mean, if the cock hadn't cared that the hen died to begin with, then we could have avoided this whole messy affair.
Yeah.
We could have just fast forwarded to the end.
Maybe that's the pitch and I just have to rework it. It's a good one. I'm not sure that that's the actual moral of this story. It should be. With a couple of changes, it could be. But you know who could have learned the lesson about don't fret?
Who?
Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop.
Never watched it.
Oh my god, it's really good.
So I hear.
Yeah, I would recommend. I will recommend that to you. I think it's 24 total episodes.
I assume you mean the anime original, not
the anime original, not
the live action reboot.
Oh my god, I'm so still mad about the live action reboot. But genius. They were. It's like one of our pitches. They were like, okay, there's this beloved property, and it's very important. Weirdly enough, that there's four. We have these four main characters. And they were like, but what if 3? You're like,
What if we only had enough money?
we really like your pitches, Phil. We're gonna give you the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And I'm like, great, no Raphael. Nobody likes them. Fuck it. We don't need them.
Yeah.
We've already got 3 other turtles.
Yeah, I mean, it's arguably the least interesting.
But except for like a couple of people that are like, well, although this isn't like an super ego and id situation with these characters. You know, there's it's the 4 humors. It only kind of works with all 4 of them.
Yeah.
But anyways, this is a minute. So Cowboy Bebop, he's one of the stories is like, so all throughout the series, he's kind of suicidal because he's mopey about this girl that left him. And again, he's 24, so that's why. It's also why the live action thing didn't work. It's the same thing, except that he was 50, and being mopey about a girl plays a lot different at 24. You know, in your early 20s than it does in your middle when you're middle aged. But
well, I could buy the 50 thing because you're staring down the barrel of the second half of your life and you're alone.
Yeah, but that's
arguably more despairing than when you're 24 and you can just go find something next.
It's a different type of despair. They were trying to put one on top of the other.
Yeah, fair.
Anyways, back to this. Somehow I will edit this into a cohesive thing, which is something that the Brothers Grimm never did with the goddamn Death of the Little Hen story. But one thing I was wondering too. Like, do you think I said earlier? Did the Brothers Grimm intend this as a body tale? And I think so. But if not, was Margaret Hunt being cheeky?
I ask myself that every time I read one of these.
Okay.
So much of this bodiness comes from the English translations. One can assume that there's no synonym for rooster in German that is also a synonym for penis.
Right.
Maybe there is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't know where the word cock comes from either, I guess. Like, and I know English is just kind of a mix of kind of the Germanic languages and the Romance languages. Are you looking it up?
Yeah. Margaret Hunt. Yeah. She translated these in the probably late 1800s.
Yeah.
So it's entirely, I would assume a lot of this is not intended to be.
You think the people in the Middle Ages weren't baughty?
No, sure. I just don't think it was necessarily intended to be a euphemism in a lot of these cases where we're giggling about cock.
I wish, God forbid, I wish one of these German professors would.
Those goddamn German professors.
Write me back about any of these where I'm just like, just tell me, is the original German just a big cock joke? Is it a big dick joke or not? Because other than that, there's not a lot to the story. It's we have 2 chain tales and we have a trading game. We've had the exact death before with Coal in the Straw, with story 18.
Yeah.
Straw the Coal, well, which you were talking about earlier. Like,
But they do cram like 6 morals into this one.
I guess maybe that's what we're trying to say. So, you know what? Here's my moral.
All right.
Drink your nut and you'll get strong, but don't choke on your nut. Don't choke on a nut, ladies.
Don't choke on a nut.
Don't, or men. You know what? I don't know why
Easy
I
enough.
gendered that. Like.
But when you need water to save someone, don't ask for it. Just take it.
Yeah, and also like, I mean, if you're choking, I mean, there's a couple things to do. Also, if you're choking, there's the Heimlich, but I don't know if they've invented. I assume it's a German maneuver, but just based on the name of the guy. But
that's fair. Yeah.
But there's water everywhere. You don't have to necessarily go to the well for that emergency situation.
That's true. There was a stream.
Yeah, yeah.
Arguably not far.
All of these people have wine. That is all that I have.
Same here.
Okay. I think we got a lot of mileage out of a dick joke.
Yeah,
if that's what
fair.
It was. And I'm really proud of us. For being honest.
If anybody can do it, we can.
That's true. Well, if you have nothing else and I have nothing else, then I think we can call it on Grimm. Story number 80, The Death of the Little Hen. Till the next time in the next tale, may you have sweet dreams of today's sponsor, choking on a nut so big that it makes you gag. Or, you know what, or may you have sweet dreams of finding love so deep that you would die without it. I think we've never found out which is a worse way to die. Sleep tight. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. The Brothers Dim podcast is written by the Brothers Dim. Recording engineering is done by Mike and sound editing and mastering by Phil. Brothers Dim podcasts are copyrighted by the Brothers Dim and available at brothersdim.com, on Blue Sky at Brothers Dim, and wherever you get your podcasts.